It's time for Recipe of the Day. I am in such a festive, wonderful mood, and I think it's because I made a batch of mulled wine last night. It made my whole house smell like Christmas, and I just wanted to share with you how to make it. So if you've got some red wine, you can totally do this. You don't need expensive wine. I just get like a 1.5 liter bottle of a basic Merlot. If it's got a screw top, that's even better because you can store any leftovers right in the bottle. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a couple of oranges and you're going to poke holes in them all over, and then you're going to put those into a big pot. Add the wine over top, and then into there also put some cinnamon sticks, whole allspice berries, whole cloves, and some peppercorns. I really find that heat of the peppercorn mimics whole cloves a little bit, that like bite at the back of your tongue. Really, really nice flavor. Also, a lot of wines, red wines, have a peppercorn kind of taste to them, and I really think this brings that out. It's just nice spiciness. Okay, you've got all that in your big pot, and then you heat it to a boil over medium-high heat, and then reduce it right down to low and simmer it for a good 20 to 30 minutes. What you're doing here is really letting those cinnamon and spice flavors really get into all of the wine. After that, after it's been simmering for a while, you stir in some brown sugar. It makes it nice and sweet. Give it a taste. If you want it sweeter, you can always add more. For this recipe, we were doing 2 750 milliliter bottles, or one big 1.5 liter bottle, and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So like I said, taste it. If you want more, add more. If you don't want more, you don't have to add more. Then you're going to put a fine mesh sieve over a big bowl, and you're going to pour the wine through there. That's going to strain out all those little bits. I'm just going to say that again. Make sure you put a bowl under the fine mesh sieve. I've done it a couple times in my life where I've gone to strain something, and on autopilot, I'm doing it as though it's like spaghetti, and I've got the sieve or the colander in the sink instead of in a bowl. And before I realize what's happening, it's all going down the drain. You do not want that to happen. So you're putting your sieve or your colander over a bowl. Pour the wine through that. Now, if you're not going to be serving this immediately, you can use a funnel and pour it back into the bottles. And then if they are capped, like a screw cap bottle, screwed on. If it's a cork kind of bottle, pop the cork in there. It'll stay good for several days at room temperature. You don't even have to refrigerate it. The nice thing about having the mulled wine in the bottles like this is if you just want 1 cup of it, you can pour it into a mug and microwave it. And there you've got mulled wine. Really great. I'm going to say the recipe also calls for optional brandy, cognac, or orange liqueur added at the end after all of the simmering. You can totally do that, or you can serve it alongside. Like if you poured all of your mulled wine into a slow cooker to keep warm with a ladle, people can ladle it into mugs themselves, and then you could have a bottle of liqueur on the side that they could add to it optional if they wanted to, or you can just skip it. You don't need it. Okay, I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is December 13th of 2024. And if you are liking all of these festive ideas, make sure you are following me on social media. I am sharing all kinds of things that are perfect for this time of year, helping make your decision-making process easier and inspiring you with delicious ideas. I am Cook the Story on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.